Is it in downloads? Yeah, it is. So, I am teaching a class this summer that is a 6-week sort of like introduction to game design, mostly for non-USC students. We've got a couple of high school students, a couple of community college students, a couple students from other institutions, some of them in the US, some of them not. Here, there's good pictures here. So the first assignment was a common assignment, which was essentially to modify a game that we played in class. And one of the groups came up with a modification that they called Oh No Racists. It's an interesting game. It is... it has some really good ideas that I like, that are implemented well. It also has some problems that I think the group didn't consider, that are sort of worth noting. It is at its base, it's a game about a near future where you play as a family of immigrants to the United States who land in Florida and try to make their way across the southern states to California, to a sanctuary city, before California secedes from the Union. So you have a limited amount of time on the calendar to get your family across the southern border, or the southern reach of the United States. Along the way, there are ICE agents who patrol different states, and if you find yourself in a state with an ICE agent, then they will deport you, and you have to start your journey over from Florida. And your family through this process can become separated, and so you're trying to get as much of your family as possible to the sanctuary city, that's the gist of it. A couple of problems with this game. One is it is a competitive game between players playing as migrant families, and there's a politics in that I think was not intended. That this is not just a race, and it's not just a race with like a limited number of winners, but there are opportunities to actively not harm, but set back other players, and that competition, given the theme of the game, given the premise of the game, I think was not well considered. There's also kind of the other thing that I think is needs to be addressed better in this game is the kind of meaningfulness of family separation. The family separation isn't treated in a particularly meaningful way, and especially given sort of the current the issues of the day. I think that is something that could have been sort of treated a little bit clearer. All of that said, it's actually like a fairly interesting game. The subject matter is treated fairly well overall, with sort of those exceptions. I have seen first-time game developers stumble worse than this, and I was overall really pleased with how they sort of took a difficult topic, recognized at least some of the difficulty in it, and attempted to treat it respectfully. Is an interesting game. Anyway, that's the board. The board, really nice production value too. Yeah, I mean, part of what was good about... Yeah, sabotage is a good word. Part of what was good, I think, about their treatment of the game is that it was not a whimsical, fun game. That it was definitely sort of like, it had a more serious tone. I have some criticisms of the mechanics of the game. This is a comment that it seems like my criticisms of the game were optics rather than mechanics. So 2 things on this. I actually do have some criticisms of the mechanics of the game, but they're relatively minor. The point of the class is to try to introduce the idea of games as carefully designed interactive experiences. And in that context, it's not just the optics of a game, it's actually the effect that theme and dynamics has on the experience of a player that I think is really important to understand and think about as a designer. So it's not just that, like, this is a game that is, potentially politically touchy or could be taken the wrong way. It's that when you sit down and play it, especially for... Well, not even especially. I mean, honestly, like, there are lots of different groups that have different reactions from different perspectives. American citizens, American immigrants, non-American citizens. But for all of them, there is an emotional value associated with this theme that inevitably colors the experience of tensions and dynamics within the game. And there was some of that I think they sort of understood and treated very well. And there's some of that because this is such an emotionally loaded topic, I think, that makes it difficult, and the game could have done a little bit better. But yeah. I mean, overall, they did a great job with the assignment. They made a good game. Yeah, that's sort of where I am. Night jet lag. Okay, where am I? I'm here for a little bit longer. Cool, rad. Okay, let's go back to this. All of this is working very nicely. I am actually going to add on to... What happened to my matrix script? Did I close that? I guess I closed that. Scanning back for it. I was a way back. Here it is. Okay, great. Okay, great. I said, okay, great. Great, good. Okay. So, all right, how do I actually want to do this?
The honor is mine. Please, come, sit.
Please come sit. Long pause.
I imagine that right now you're feeling a bit like Alice. Tumbling down the...
Okay, this is 3 lines. Please come sit down. I imagine right now you're feeling a bit like Alice. This did seem like 3 lines, right? Fuck. Okay, I'm gonna listen to it again.
It's an honor to meet you.
No. The honor is mine. Please, come.
23 to 26.
I imagine that right now you're feeling a bit like Alice.
23 to 26, and then 41 to 47. 41 to 47. Okay, so this is those are the start and stop bouncings. And let's actually make this 23.5. It's a very dramatic scene, Ivo. Please come. Okay, alright. I'm gonna be feeling like Alice. It sure seemed like. Let's do this. Because we gotta finish this, right? Alright, we'll figure out when that is. This is all like this. Alright, so when is the second half of this line?
I imagine. You have the look of a man who accepts...
Nope, 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 nope.
You could say that.
I can see it in you. A bit like Alice. Tumbling down the rabbit hole.
Got it. So it's this bit at like 50,
Tumbling down the rabbit hole.
47, wait,
You could say that.
47.3.
Tumbling down the rabbit hole.
Ah, damn it.
Tumbling down the rabbit hole.
So 47.3, 250. Okay, rad. This is all good, and it all shows up here. Oh, what are you? Interesting. Oh, interesting. What? What's happening? Oh, because I did not put characters in here. I do need to do that. But okay, yeah, so this is all good then. This is all good. Everything is always a string. Come on. Come on, spreadsheet. Okay, so this should go a little bit longer. It's all... append. I like append caption. I like that a lot.
Welcome, Neo. As you no doubt have guessed, I am Morpheus.
It's an honor to meet you.
No. The honor is mine. Please, come. Sit.
Long pause. We're gonna have to do something with lights in that pause.
I imagine that right now you're feeling a bit like Alice. Tumbling down the rabbit hole?
You could say that.
Cool.
I can
I should probably put the you can say that in too. That should be real easy. Let's just do it. Let's just do it real easy. Just do this. You can say that. That is Keanu. And that's going to be like 51 to 53. What's the one that's starting late now? It's going to have let's call this 13. Okay, sweet. This is all great. This is real good. So now my question that I got to grapple with is somehow I want this presented along with annotations headache person. This is the Cute Bouncing Puppets show. That's what we're doing tonight. Okay, hold on. I mean, maybe we just do this. I got a couple of ways that I can do this. One way that I'm thinking about is essentially just creating either an image or a pre-formatted text, like text box, pre-formatted text box that has the script in it, and scrolling through that effectively. The other way would be to build the script in this document, right? Like in this scripting format. the problem with any kind of building in text is I don't know what the annotations should look like. I guess I could actually have, so I could have like two columns. I could have a wide column that is the script in something approaching script format. And then the other column has tech cues, has like lighting cues in it. Yeah, annotations like stage directions. So the idea is going to be, let's throw this up. The idea is going to be, as the game plays, there is a script here that includes lines of dialogue and cues, lighting cues.
Welcome, Neo.
And I gotta
You no doubt
hit
have
the
guessed.
lighting cues like at
I
the
am
appropriate
Morpheus.
time in the
It's
dialogue.
an honor to meet you.
No. The honor is mine.
Right, like something like this.
Please,
And
come.
then
Sit.
or, I don't know.
I imagine that right now you're feeling
You know, this kind
a
of
bit
thing.
like Alice.
And then I go back and like
Tumbling
the
down
script
the rabbit
is
hole.
either turning page by page
Say
or
that.
it's scrolling up.
I can see it in your eyes. You have the look of a man who accepts what he sees.
Having two text objects stacked works. Dialogue shows up above stage direction. Some dialogue, something happens. I think this works. I think the only thing that's questionable to me is keeping them in sync. If it's two different text elements, there's a good way to do it and a bad way to do it. Let's do it the bad way. The good way to do it would be to break up, essentially, to break up each, like, I guess each line is how it would end up working. So have sort of, this is where I think I'm going, is that I've got a script that looks sort of like this. And here's, you know, Neo says, it's an honor to meet you. Right, like that on one side. Do I have autofocus off? Whatever. And then on the other side, it says like P set 2. Like hit this lighting cue over here. And then here's, you know, Morpheus has the next line. And there's, you know, I don't know, there's some other weird cue, light 7. Blah, 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 blah. So the right way, you guys get, this is blurry as fuck, huh? The right way to do this would be to sort of take this to make sort of like a whole row that has these two text elements in it, and then stack that on top of a whole row for the next one. That way the left and right columns can't get, like, will always be in sync, right? Because they're locked together. They're a single element in the row. Yeah, but it's not gonna fade. It's not gonna fade direction in and out. It's just gonna scroll them up. It's either gonna scroll them up or it's gonna flip page by page. I think it's gonna scroll them up. I think that's what's gonna make the most sense. I'm just trying to think, can I get away with not having this? Okay, I'm gonna let this sit in my head for 10 minutes, and I'm gonna do the easier thing first, which is gonna be to add another function to our there it is. I'm gonna add another function to this. So this new function is gonna be I've done no writing. There's going to be no writing in this. The new function is going to be add to chat. And then here's where I'm going to use my pipe again. This is going to be I don't know. Morpheus is so pretentious. How do you spell pretentious? It is not like that. Pretentious? Yeah, it'll feed up exactly like a teleprompter. Strophium, that's exactly right. So yes, append dialogue, append stage direction. Pretentious. Perfect. Let me try that. Let me try this. Okay, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna do the script in the bad way, because I think we can get away with it for a little while, and we just need a little while. That's all we need. All right, queue manager needs to be able to process this new function. New function is called add to chat. And let's go ahead and do this right here. It's XSplit on pipe. I want some RAM. I'm just gonna call it that. XSplit on pipe. And that's it. And then add to chat temp string array 0 temp string array 1. And then let's create this function. I'm doing it this way even though at the moment it doesn't actually matter, because it's just text. I'm not differentiating between these characters at all. So alright, I've got links to these stage characters. Let's do a using Unity Engine UI public text, chat text, String chat text. Previous chat text equals chat text. Previous chat text plus equals. Am I doing it like this? I think. Plus name plus. Plus text like that, and then chat text equals previous, whatever. That's terrible naming. The chat is I think the chat is going to play a couple of different roles, and one of them is potentially like a score screen. Like, yes, definitely. Okay, here's where my head is, and we're gonna, like, all of this is up in the air, and a lot of this can change. But where my head is, on stage, things don't react a lot to your performance. The actors sort of like just keep carrying on. They just keep saying their lines. But in the back channel, there is a lot of activity based on whether or not you're hitting your cues. Thank you. I do need a new line. Okay, I think that should just work. And where the heck? Oh, no. We just gotta find that chat sucker. It's not in the stage. It's in the booth, on the laptop, on the screen, on the canvas. It is the chat. It's inside of this scroll view. It's this text. Okay. And then I don't think I saved this.
At last. Welcome, Neo. As you no doubt have guessed, I am Morpheus.
No, that didn't work.
It's enough.
But I didn't get an error. Did I save this? Should have a add to chat, line 8. Because I inserted, oh god damn. Wow, this is gonna be an enormous pain in the ass. Wow. Wow, I hate this. Okay, I gotta figure out a better way to do that. Ooh, that's painful. That's super, because I'm going to be doing that constantly. Okay.
At last. Welcome, Neo. As you no doubt have guessed, I am Morpheus.
I gotta put the new line at the beginning, but other than that, it worked. Great. Cool. That worked. All right, let's set this up to be terrible. Laptop. Not chat. Laptop script. Contents. Just got an image right now. We are going to add. Let's start with an empty game object. No, that's fine actually. Okay. Yeah, yes, 100%. I could have the spreadsheet non-sequential and then sort the array by time after splitting it. You know what I could actually do that would be better than that? Would be to add new things to the end and then sort the array and sort the spreadsheet by column. I'll do that next time, and then I wouldn't have to. I wouldn't be adding a row, and so it wouldn't fuck with the thing. I think that'll work. Okay, so contents of the script page. I want a... I hate these things. I want a scroll view. I want a scroll view that has no scroll bars. Where are you? No horizontal, no vertical. Right? These are the scroll bars. Elastic's fine. Doesn't matter. Inertia's fine. We're not going to do any of it. Scroll sensitivity is 0. Viewport, I want. Horizontal, I don't want. Vertical, I don't want. I don't need value changed. These can leave. Never to be seen again. This should be sized to the whole thing. This likewise should be sized to the whole thing. UI mask. This is all fine. I actually don't want... Is that right? Oh no, UI mask, I think I do want. This, I don't want the image. Yeah, there we go. Content. Yes. So how big are you? Oh, it doesn't really show. We're gonna do, anchored from the bottom, I guess, and then height is 300, and who knows what that means. I'm gonna make that. Oh, I see. I know what that means. What's 100? 100 is like... Oh, I do see. There's an extremely faint line down here that's showing me where 100 is. All right, that's fine. I'm gonna make it 1,000, which is over the top, which is okay. At this resolution, this is all gonna have to be fixed for multiple resolutions, but it's actually gonna fuck up real fast. This is World UI right here. Okay, so now I should be able to put like an image in here. Well, that showed up. That's good. And I should be able to make it real big. And that showed up, and if I go like that, that's great. This is good. All right, get rid of that. How about instead we make a text object? The text object is going to be the size of the whole thing, except its x max is going to be 0.75. We're going to give it a font size of like 50. We're going to have it center aligned at the bottom. I think that's how we're going to do it. And we're going to do it like Morpheus. Hey Neo, what's up, buddy? Like that. And then Neo. And then we're gonna have another one. This is the script column. I really should have given this a game object. And this is the directions. I don't know. This is gonna go from 0.75 to 1. I'm gonna hate my life real fast. It's gonna be like psat 1, psat 2. Okay, so I'm seeing some problems with this. Just a couple of them. How about we switch these? So it's like 0.25 to 1, and then this one is 0 to 0.25, right? And let's also make this like red or orange or something, right? And maybe this is all bold. Okay, that's not so bad. Now this breaks as soon as anything takes up more than one line, which is why I shouldn't do it this way. It's just doing it the right way is such a pain in the ass. It's aligned from the bottom, which means that stuff at the bottom is the least likely to get out of alignment. Well, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's see how this works. Okay, so that means then I need a couple of new functions here. And they're gonna be like, yeah, it's Strophium, I think that you are absolutely right. I think that it's gonna be, yeah, my plan right now for both of these is just to you know, lop off the beginning part of the string for this and the chat, like once it gets to a certain length, which isn't a problem yet because we're not adding anything to either one of them, but that was my plan for the prototype. For this, I want a add to script and add to directions. And this is going to be I can shrink to width. Oh, I see what you're saying. All right, I'm going to implement this naively to start. And we're going to see how big a problem it actually is. I'm going to try something like this. I have another problem with this. Oh god, I have a big problem with this. Okay. Here's my big problem with this, is that I don't want the lines and directions to appear when the lines are spoken. I want them to appear well before that. So I can get around that using this system by giving them earlier times, right? Like this is, if I just say, you know, this is 0, these are all 0. Right? And then this all worked. And that'll work. The problem is, in this script format, I really want this line. I mean, ideally, the caption is generated from this line rather than having two separate commands, right? Because then there's no way for them to be out of sync. They're always going to be, the line in the script is the line in the captions. Which I can certainly do. I can certainly like get rid of this function and add that to this function. Like whenever a line is added to the script, it also gets generated as a closed caption. But then the timing information for the closed captions needs to be preserved here. I think what I'm going to do converting on-screen time in the datasheet to 3 seconds earlier in your output sheet. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's very interesting. That's good. All right, let's start here. Let's start with what we've got. All right, so this is comma separated values goes to here. I need to create two new functions. One is add to script. on extreme difficulty, the laptop is 3/4 of a second ahead of the stage. That would be, hey Osmo, thank you. I did not realize that. I will make that change. Let me do this first, and then actually I'll make that change right now. Okay, so add to script. Oh god, now I did this backwards, didn't I? So, but it doesn't matter. I can still do this. Add to script. And it's going to do those two things, and then I want to do add to directions. And I'm going to change this. Add to, no, sorry, directions, and that is just X. And then we're going to create those two functions. One of them is based off of this. The other one is simpler. Okay, and this is going to be directions text and script text, and I guess change this to script. Oh my god, what's happening? Okay. Then make this directions. Okay, and then this is add to script. And how did I do this? Add to script is name and then text. That's unnecessarily confusing. But I'm keeping it. Right, and then this is also down here. Okay, and then the way that this works is this is going to be two new lines, and then the name, and then none of this nonsense, but another new line. Two new lines? Yeah. And then there's no name here, but there is a two new lines, and then text, and then two more new lines. I think that's right. Okay, and then I need to make a script text, and I just get blah 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 blah. Script text, directions text. God, Half-Life. Don't remind me. What game is this? This game is Unity. It's the hardest game. Script text. And now I should actually just clear these. This should run, right? We're in a running state. Oh, yes. Okay. Yes, okay.
At last.
So this worked perfectly, except for the part where it
Welcome
screwed up
you.
exactly the way that we knew it would
As you
screw
no
up.
doubt have guessed, I am Morpheus.
It's an honor to meet you.
No. The honor is mine. Please.
Alright, fun. Well, let's do the easier thing and fix my Twitch page. I'm really super resistant to doing this right. Part of that comes